Vidya, the Upasana of Hiranyagarbha. Agni means Hiranyagarbha. The third is Brahma. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. That which transcends dharma and adharma, etc. Because Agni Vidya comes under dharma. It is manasa dharma, upasana. Pitru Saumanasyam, also dharma. It is all dharma. And then he wants to go beyond dharma and adharma. Gita also proceeds on similar lines. Sarva dharman parityajya. There the understanding is adharma was already given up and now it is time to go beyond the dharma also. That is how Gita is. Same thing here. So what is it that is beyond virtue and sin? That is beyond past and future. Means that is beyond time. So what is beyond actions? Krata kratat. So are rituals. Karma is action in general, ritual in particular. Generally, in Veda Mantras and Gita, the word karma is ritual. But we take it in the sense of ritual, it is said, but we take it and expand it to include other actions. So anyway, therefore that which is beyond the time, that which is beyond the karmas that are already performed and the karmas that are about to be performed, yet to be performed, krata akrata. And this is there in Gita also. Naiva tasya krute narthaha, nakrute neha kaschana. Like that you find this, that thing which is beyond the krata and akrata. Gita also follows the same method, even the same language. And what is it? What is that reality which is beyond good and evil, which is beyond past and future, which is beyond all actions and upasanas, etc. What is it? That is the question. And the answer. Suppose the answer is given as, that is Brahman, beyond everything, the cause of the universe. Suppose that is how the answer is given. Then that Brahman, even in its presentation, is taken as the other. That is what the conceptual Vedanta hangs on to. That is a kind of, then it becomes another kind of religion. A kind of religion. Because in the religion, you worship the God who is the other. In Vedanta, instead of worshipping the God, you worship the Brahman who is the other. So that has no value. Therefore, that Brahman has to be presented as the innermost self. That's why in Vedanta, in Upanishad, it is not Brahman per se. It is Brahman which is pratyagabhinnam, which is none other than the innermost self. This is the presentation. Just I gave you the general approach to the vision. That's why here the answer is etadvaitat. This is indeed that which you were asking for. Etadvaitat. That is that which Nachiketa was asking for. And etat is this. What is this? Puram ekadashadvaram. So we are looking at a city. Puram is a city. Now, these are all metaphors. You see, there is a thing called literality versus spirituality. You take a thing literally and then you take it in its spirit. Right? You are following, you see the significance of that. Suppose I say, you make a proposition to me. I say, I will cross that bridge when I come to it. Suppose I say. Now, am I talking of a bridge that is made up of steel and brick and cement? Suppose you ask, what kind of bridge, Swamiji? Is it, how long it is, how wide it is? Suppose you ask like that. Then what should I do with you? This is how the entire religion functions. Really. This is the way the religion functions. It is said, Bhagavan commands the entire wealth of the universe, which is true. And the Sanskrit word for wealth is Shrihi. You have heard the word Shrihi, Shrihi, Shriyau, Shriyaha, Shabda. In childhood we used to by heart, Ikaranta Strilingaha, Shri Shabdaha, Sampada, wealth. That is the meaning of it. And this wealth, it belongs to whom? Belongs to Ishvara. All the wealth of the universe belongs to Ishvara. Now Shrihi, this is the vision. Now I put it in poetic way. Please look at it. The lady wealth is in the command of the God. Nicely said, you know. Do you agree? Don't you agree? It is said nicely, right? The lady wealth. Instead of saying the wealth is in command of God, it sounds, it is okay, it is true, but sounds very like a legal language. It sounds like a physics statement. There is no poetry in it. Whereas Upanishads are all poetic. And therefore in the Upanishad we say, the lady wealth. Why lady wealth? Why not man wealth? The reason is very simple. The word Shri, the gender is feminine. In the language, the linguistic gender is feminine. That's why we said lady. There is no other reason. There is no other reason. The lady wealth. They look at the word, it is feminine and therefore put a gender. The lady wealth is in the command of the Lord. Now our religious friends, you know what they did? They understand lady, oh lady we know. Lady why don't we know? There are so many ladies around. And therefore there is a lady above, and so marry, command means marry. Because these people possess and dominate the lady, you know. Therefore the command means marry. Therefore God is married to a woman called Shri. How is this? This is how the religion proceeds. Now I will give you the distinction between religion and spirituality. Religion is a literality and Vedanta is a spirit. The spirituality is Vedanta. Literality is religion. Okay? You followed it? Now why should I say all this? This is a basic, wonderful principle. You should appreciate me for telling you such a nice principle. You don't move your head. That is what is there on your face. I don't see. I have a long distance vision problem also. Not only this. My glasses, however best glasses I wear, my range is 3/4 or half of the normal range. The eyes are like that, you know. Therefore, anyway, so I have my issues. Therefore, this is the important distinction between religion and spirituality. Vedanta is spirituality, it is not religion. Therefore, why I said all this? Because you should know how to look at a metaphor correctly. Puram, a city. Oh, which city? Is it Varanasi? Then our Vaishnava friends say, no, not Varanasi. It is not Varanasi. You don't know? Varanasi was burnt to ashes by Sri Krishna. Look at that. These fellows, I tell you, it is not Varanasi. If Varanasi is the thing, then why Sri Krishna would burn it to ashes with his discus? No, not Varanasi. Then what? Srirangam. That is what it is. Or Badari. Not Varanasi. So this is what our Vaishnava friends would say. Happily they would say that. Therefore here Puram city is it literal or spiritual? Spiritual, not literal. So therefore don't think that, so today in the Vedanta class we have learnt one wonderful news that Brahman has a city of his own. And the name of this city is Vaikuntha or Kailasa. Don't start all that. that is all literality and we are not connected with it. Then what is the city? What is the Puram? Puram, this is the Puram. This is my Puram, Khabardar, not your Puram. It is not your Puram. Then whose Puram it is? Brahma Puram. It is the city of Brahman. You understand? It is the city of the Brahman. This is what Christ said to Pilate. This is what Christ was saying. The city of the Brahman. I am the king of the heaven. Something to that effect he said. Therefore, the Brahma Puram. Why Puram? Why Puram? Why not something else? After all, it is a metaphor. Metaphor could be Puram or it could be something else. Why Puram particularly? Because a city will have gates. Dvara. This city has gates. Normally these big cities will have multiple gates. There will be one front gate which is always kept open and guarded. There will be many guards protecting the front gate. And anybody has to enter the city has to go through the front gate only. But there will be other multiple gates which are kept locked and open on occasion. Depending upon the need, they are open. Otherwise, front gate is open. But other gates are also there. So we have a place called King Koti. Koti is a city, kind of walled city. In Hyderabad we have King Koti. It has many gates. Must be around half a dozen gates it must have. Here our Puram has 11 gates, Ekadashadvaram. Which is that Puram here? How do you know this? This is the Puram. Two reasons. One, in another Upanishad, parallelly, that Puram is not called Puram. It is called Brahma Puram, the Chandogya. Therefore, here it is simply called Puram. But we know what it is. It is Brahma Puram. That is one reason. Second reason, Ekadashadvaram, having 11 gates, it is no other Puram. It is this Puram only. Because here you have the 11 gates. What are the 11? Normally people know 9. Navadvare pure dehe naiva kurvan nakarayan. Did you hear this verse? Where from? Gita, good. So, 9 is already known to the students of Gita. 9. What are the 9? In the face, there are 7. Neck and above, 7. Sapta Shirushanya Pranaha. Prana is Indriya, which is the gate here. 7. All Shirushanyaha, they are all in the head. What are they? 2 eyes, two nostrils, 1 mouth, 2 ears, 7. 7 we know. Below 2, we know 9. Now here it says Ekadasha. How to account for this Ekadasha? You have to look around to find out we have missed something in between. Yes, you missed. The navel you missed. Okay, navel is also a gate. Yeah, take it like that. It is all a metaphor only, you know. Take it. Navel is 11. Okay, 10 ho gaya. Now what about 11? This soft spot on the top of the head, there is a soft spot. And the child, the newly born child, the mother feels the soft mother and the mid-nurse, they know about that soft spot particularly. And they apply some oil and all that there. Because that is a very soft spot. Whereas the skull is very hard skull it is. That spot is soft spot. Here you should not beat. These oil people, there are oil people. If you go to a barber shop in India, he will offer, shall I put some oil to your head? He will offer. And then in other places also there are oil people. They want to apply oil. You have to be very cautious with them. What they do, they put some oil and they start beating the skull from all sides. Once one person tried this, I told, don't do anything with it because that is my only wealth I have is this one. If you disturb that, now I have to beg for my bhiksha. Don't touch it. No, I have Navaratna tail. Go and sit on the tree. No tail, no oil here. No oil will sink in. You are imagining. It doesn't sink in. So don't tell me these stories. So, therefore, you please don't try any oil. You apply yourself, but don't do this. This beating like that, you should not do it. It is a very delicate thing it is. Because the brain inside, it starts shaking, it leads to serious problems. It leads to injuries which cannot be immediately recognized. Like in boxing, they get injury. That concussion, that is how Muhammad Ali suffered because of that. You should not disturb this. Because he doing like this, by mistake he does here. Even around also. The inside, the skull is hard, obviously, but inside it is very soft. And therefore, the brain cells are not easily regenerated also. Therefore, this is a soft spot. It is a hole. It is a soft spot, but they call it a hole. Randhra, they call it. It is not randhra. Kind of randhra heva randhra, as though a hole. And that is the 11th, total 11. This is the city. It is my city. No, not your city. Kabardar, not your city. Then whose city it is? Bhagavan's city. Brahmapuram. Okay? You should not claim ownership upon this. Did you create this? No, I did not create. Maybe my parents have created. You ask them. Parents, did you create this body? No, we don't. We too don't know. We did not create it. It is created. Only this much we know. It is created. But by whom we don't know. There is a reality beyond all this that created this. Having created, it entered into it. Therefore, that is the owner of this forum. Therefore, this eyesight is an offering to the whole. Because it is not my eyesight. This knowledge is an offering to the whole. Because it is not my knowledge. The speech is an offering to the whole. I told this in one of those classes. So it is Brahmapuram and all its faculties are an offering to Brahma. This is called Karma Yoga. Therefore, Puram Ekadashadvaram. Suppose it is my city. Then I was born. This is what everybody says. I was born. So even Vedantins are saying, I was born. Are you are not born, Appa? You are not born. No, I am born. Okay, go and sit on the tree. What can we say? So, therefore it is not your Puram. Because you say you are born. It is the Puram of the one who is birthless. Ajasya. Now you tell, is it your Puram? No, it is not my Puram. Because I was born. Arepa. Suppose you say, I am that birthless, then it is your Puram. As long as you say you were born and act upon that belief, that is important. It is not about saying. You say it to the CVS person. That is not the problem. In the CVS, they ask this question, when were you born? I was born on so and so. Suppose you say I was not born. I feel like saying it all time. I feel like saying. Because for me, I have to make an effort to say I was born. I have to make an effort. One Mahatma asked me, Swamiji, when were you born? I said, you have asked a wrong question. Do you want me to answer it? I don't think I was born. Do you want me to answer it? Then he said, no, leave it. Serious, so you have to go against your instinct and say the date. Ajasya Puram. That is Vedanta. You have converted Vedanta into some country club affair. And therefore, all the members of the country club, do you know all the members of the country club, what they do? They conduct functions on birthday, right? That is what country club is. I was not born. CVS lady says, I don't want to confuse that lady. Already my pronunciation is confusion enough. That accent. Now if I further confuse, I don't get my medicine, and which I need. Therefore, I do a namaskar and say it. So she looks at this guy and gives the medicine. Okay. That is how. Therefore, if you say you were born, go and sit on the tree. It is not your Puram. You don't have a right to claim, this is my Puram. But if you say I am birthless, you have a right. Oh, is it? Then you can say I am my Puram. Ajasya. How simple it is. Agree or learn to look at yourself. I was not born. And you don't lose anything out of it. You can still have your cake for God's sake. You can have your cake. Cake is not a very good food to eat. But if you want to still have it, go ahead and have it. But don't say I was born. Say all the time, I was not born. But more importantly, don't act upon that belief. Because every time you act on that belief, you are strengthening an illusion. Don't act it. You should never do that. No, we are country club members. Okay, you do whatever you like. So, Ajasya Puram. Then you look at your mind. Look at your mind. Is it Vakra? Vakra is a crooked. Exact translation, crooked. Look at your mind. Do you manipulate? Then you are crooked. No, I don't manipulate. Because to manipulate, what is the motive? The motive is to gain something. I have to gain something. I am looking for some gain. Therefore, I have to manipulate. No, I don't need any gain. There is nothing for me to gain. Then why should I manipulate? I don't manipulate. Do you tell a lie? No, I don't tell a lie. I don't speak. When I have to speak, I speak the truth. I don't speak a lie. I have to tell the truth only. If I have to speak, otherwise I keep silent. Okay. Do you cheat? No. Do you steal? No. Do you harm any other person? No. Do you plan something against the other guy? No. I don't do any of those things. Avakrachetasaha. Suppose you do some of them or all of them, then you cannot claim this body because you have become a samsari, a jiva. Jiva is a better word. A samsari you have become. A samsari will do all these things. A samsari does all these things, what I have just now said. Whereas a pure-hearted person will do none of these things. He may live in a corner his life, but he will not do any of these things. Therefore, you don't take the birth and death upon you. Keep the pure heart. Then this Puram becomes your Puram. How? It is Brahma Puram, you said. Then you become the Brahma. That's why. You see how simple it is? How simple and how direct it is? You want to know Brahma? Yes. Look at this body. This is the seat of Brahman. Puram is the seat. Washington is the seat of the president. Like that. Puram is the seat of the Brahman. Then who is that Brahman? You could be that Brahman, provided ajasya avakrachetasaha. You understand yourself. You recognize yourself as birthless and also pure-hearted. Very simple. What is your problem? You have come to Vedanta. Why don't you do these two things? Just declare to yourself, I am birthless. You tell your family members also, from today onwards, don't talk about birth to me. That too, for a retired person, Why he needs a birth certificate all the time? And except CVS, you don't need any birth certificate. Any birth idea you don't need. Only near CVS you need it. And then in the immigration, they don't ask much, but if they ask, you can say that. Other than these two occasions, if you talk about birth, your birth, you are violating the basic tenet of Vedanta, and but still you pursue Vedanta, then I would suggest you are a member of the country club Vedanta. So it is up to you. I have made it very clear from my side. You want to throw me out? You are welcome. I have said from my side. Ajasya avakrachetasaha. Shruti is saying like that. Why should I be afraid? I am fearless because I am saying what this Shruti says. Let us see Bhashya. Punarapi prakarantarena brahmatattva nirdharanarthaha ayam arambhaha drujñeyatvad brahmanaha purameva puram. Shankara knows it, that these people, unless you poke and tell, they will make it literal. Puram, oh, which Puram? Is there a train service to that Puram so that you can go and visit that? I know your intelligence is known to me. So here Puram is not Puram. Then what is it? Purameva Puram. It is a city-like. A city-like city. Means it's a metaphor. That is the Shankara's way of poking and alerting you. Don't rush to think of a town. Because this attitude is there, the religious attitude. The moment you say Puram, they will go to Pura. In India we have this attitude. Shiva, Dvadasha, 12 towns they have to visit. Shakti, now Devi Navaratri is going on. By the way, what is the Devi, now that the idea came, I am informing you, what is the Devi? Aditihi. Aditir Devata Mayi. Please revisit that verse. That power is the Devi. Quite often I say higher power, that is the Devi. And that Devi, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, the Devi is no different from Brahman. From one particular standpoint, you call it higher power and therefore call it Devi, but otherwise it is same as Devaha. Devaha eva Devi. Therefore, when you say Devi Navaratri, you are not worshipping a lady who happens to be the consort of Ishvara. This family thing, you want to keep it. You see, you just think, this is what occurred to me. I don't have an answer for it. I leave it to your wisdom. If God is married, how come we are all taking to sannyas, Shankara, etc.? You get more married. Because God is our, therefore it is all very funny thing it is. Therefore, don't go into all that, Deva, Devi, etc. This is, if it is something beyond time, is it not beyond gender? That which is timeless, that which is spaceless, will be caught in the opposites of the gender thing. Gender thing, will you put it in the gender thing? Come on, you cannot put it in the gender. If you put it in the gender, you will have intractable problems to solve. You will not be able to solve them also. Therefore, forget about this gender thing. Devi is that Aditihi. Aditi is also Strilinga. Therefore, this period, these 9 days, are particularly famous for contemplating upon that higher power. This is prasanganu prasangena. As a context, I said it. Therefore, here Puram, so it is Devi. In India, Devi means 52 towns you have to visit. 52. Dvipanchashat. 52 towns you have to visit. And one of them is Dhaka, Bangladesh. You have to visit. So this kind of an idea of a Puram, you put aside. You need not visit any Puram. This is an inward journey. That's why it is a metaphor. Purameva Puram. Why you call it Puram? Dvarapaladhishtatru Adi Aneka Puropakarana Sampatti Darshanat. Can you say it in one go? That is a samasa. Dvarapaladhishtatradyaneka puropakarana sampatti darshanat. You may try. Puropakarana sampatti darshanat shariram puram. The body is called Puram. Because it has all the elements of a city. What are the elements? Dvarapala, the walled city. The walled city. The earlier cities, there is a wall around the city. That is the city. Okay? The city will have a gate. And at the gate there will be people, the security people protecting the gate. Here, the same thing. Here also, there are gates and there are securities also there. Security also he will show you. Adi, gate, Dvarapala is the security who protect the gate. Dvara. Adi, the gates are there. And also, and king, the city will have the king inside. And here there is a king too. Like this, there are many characteristics. Aneka, Pura, Upakarana, Sampatti, Darshanat. The wealth of the content, the wealth of the content. So many things are there inside the city. That is the wealth. And all that wealth, you find it here. Therefore, this is metaphorically described as Pura. Shariram Puram. Body is the Pura. And what are the Upakarana? Puram will have multiple instruments. Upakarana is an instrument. Like the big door will be there. You want to close the Pura for the outsiders, then you close the door. That is an Upakarana. Inside, the king needs a palace to stay. A palace. So, do you have a palace inside? Yes, it is there. That is another Upakarana. Upakarana means a thing that is useful for the king to stay. And then the Dvarapala, the security must be there. It is there. And then somebody who has to advise the king must be there. That is also there. So many tools, small and big, which constitute a Puram, which make a Puram city self-sufficient. All those tools, they are put together. They are accumulated and kept inside. That is its glory, Sampatti. All that glory of a city you see outside, all that glory you can see here. And therefore, it is indeed well said that this body is a Puram. Purancha sopakaranam swatmana asamhata swatantra swamyartham drushtam. This is a law. And this law is not from Vedanta. This is from Sankhya. Sankhya law. I would like to point out to you, those of you who are not familiar with it, that this law, which is proclaimed by the Sankhya people are very great thinkers, philosophers. This law proclaimed by them is used by Shankara extensively. And the law is any assembly. You are looking at assembly. Okay, I am building the law. Finally, I will give you the statement of law. Any assembly. And that assembly means many things are put together into a particular shape. That is the assembly. And in that assembly, all the required tools are also there. Tools. What tools? It depends. It depends upon the nature of the assembly. Suppose You take the car, motor car, and is it not an assembly? It is an assembly. That's why in the manufacturing unit, they have what they have? Assembly line. And what they do in the assembly line? The first person, he pushes the chassis onto the assembly line, one item. The next person puts this side seat, fixes to the chassis, and it moves further. Next person puts that side seat. Somebody else puts a steering. Somebody puts the engine. Somebody puts a bonnet. Somebody puts a windshield. Somebody puts wheels. Somebody puts a dicky. Somebody puts the top cover. By the time all these people put all those things, what are the things? The outer cover, the outer shape, the shape and all the things, and then appropriate instruments also. The instrument to turn the wheels, the instrument to put the engine on, to put the engine off, and other instruments. And then assembly. Assembly together with the instruments. Right, that is the car. Now you tell me, this assembly together with the multiple instruments, is it meant for the assembly's sake or is it meant for someone else's sake? It is meant for someone else's sake, number one. I am building the law. Number two, is the assembly together with multiple instruments inside it, is it sentient or insentient? Huh? What do you say? Insentient. Okay? Then, third question. If you answer this question also, then we can make the law. This assembly, which is having all those instruments inside together with the instruments, and then it is insentient, and you said it is not meant for itself, and it is meant for something else. And that something else, is it sentient or insentient? Sentient. Got it? You got it? That is the law. The law, now you can state the law. Any assembly, together with appropriate instruments included, is always meant for the purpose or benefit of the other who happens to be sentient, while the assembly itself is insentient. Beautiful. That is the law. And whose law it is? Kapila Maharshi. The law of Kapila, you can say. And there are karikas written by Ishvara Krishna, the great Acharya of Sankhya, about this law. So, Shankara proclaims that law in his words. You see, Purancha Sopakaranam. This city, together with all these instruments, okay, it is a Swamyarthan Drishtam. It is meant for the owner. Swami is the owner. The Puram is owned by someone. And the Puram is meant for the benefit of that someone. Like the car is assembled. Now the car is assembled for the benefit of car? No. For the benefit of assembly line? No. For the benefit of shop floor? No. For the benefit of the owner of the car company? No. For the benefit of a consumer. It is meant for that. And that's why when the consumers are not purchasing the cars, these car company fellows, they go on crying whole life, they are crying. I have discovered this, that the car company fellows are the most unhappy people. When I came to America, I thought they are all very happy people. But they are perennially unhappy. Why? Because enough cars are not being sold. There is no place on the roads to move around. In India, there is no place to park a car. There is no place to walk on the road because it is full of cars. And now the car company fellows are crying that enough cars are not sold. What kind of economy it is? I don't understand. Good that I am not a student of economy. Coming back to the point, the car is an assembly. It is meant for a consumer who happens to be the owner. Swami is the owner, and also who happens to be sentient. So for a sentient owner, number one. Number two, Who is independent? The owner or the car? Who is independent? Owner is the independent, not the car. Car is dependent. It is an appendix to the owner. It is my car. It is not car, my car. Therefore, swatantra swamyartham drashtam. This is our experience in our life. And then one more question. This owner and this car, are they connected or not connected? Please tell me this. Are they connected or not connected? Not connected. No, we are connected. You are ignorant. Right? When you are not connected, you believe that you are connected, that shows you are ignorant. No, in Vedanta we all own cars. You are own cars. You are a member of. Now you own cars, no problem. No problem. But suppose, no, I may travel in the car, but I do not own it. Then you are talking the language of Vedanta. My God. At least say that, at least for God's sake, you say that, I do not own this blessed thing called car. It is a contraption on four wheels which takes me from point A to point B. That is it. I do not own it. I use it, but do not own it. I am not connected to it. I am independent. This thing is dependent upon me. It is insentient. I am sentient. Can I say all this about car? Can I say, are you okay with me? Now, be careful while answering. Be careful. Think one more time about the car. Can I say all this about the car? Are you ready for the implication? You must be able to say all this with the body. You should be able to say. You should say. In fact, you should live like that. Like you put petrol in the car. Suppose the volume of the tank, petrol tank, is 10 liters. He writes there, 10 liters. Suppose did you ever put 11 liters in that? Why not? You have money, you put it? No, we should not put. It overflows. Then why you put more in this car? What is the average that you have to put? They write 2000, some calories, 2000 calories. That is what they write on all food packets in America. 2000 is too much. I asked a friend of mine who happens to be a good doctor, even now practicing. I asked him, 2000, he said 2000. No, Swamiji, they say like that. They want you to consume more, therefore they say like that. Okay, you tell me what is the figure. You tell me. Because whatever you tell, I will try to follow it at least. He said 1500. So if you consume 1500 calories per day, an adult, middle-aged or old, middle-aged and beyond that, you are doing all right. But if you consume another 100 calories extra, you are not all right. Suppose you eat an ice cream, you are consuming a lot more calories extra. You are eating a cake, a birthday cake and all that, with all that material on the top of it. You are eating all that. It is all very bad for health. Very bad. You are putting extra fuel into this car. You should not do that. Then you have to keep the car in good shape. Otherwise it will stall. Therefore you keep the car in good shape by running around properly. And then you don't say, it is I am connected to the car. You are not connected to the car. Asamhata. Asamhata. You are not connected to the car. Means it is a car which I put to action, which I use, but it is not my car. Certainly not me. With reference to the body, you should be able to say that. You say some of these things and then see what happens. You suddenly discover yourself in a different light. Already the dawn of knowledge is with you. Very important. So this Puram Sopakaranam, together with different instruments, it is Swatmana Asamhata Swatantra Swamyarthan Drishtam. It is, in our experience, that it is meant for a Prabhu, an independent sentient being, like that you take Swami. Independent sentient being who is not, by very nature, not connected with the insentient assembly. Assembly is insentient. Between sentient and insentient, there can be no connection. Suppose I ask you, you put this mask to this space. Can you put it? To this space, you cannot put. To fire you can put. There is fire you can put here. It stops the fire coming this side. To water you can put. Other side water you put in the way. To Prithvi you can put. This is the Prithvi like only. To space can you put the mask? You cannot put. Similarly, the sentient cannot be connected to insentient. No connection is possible. But you believe a connection is there. That is called ignorance. This is how you have to reorient the equation with the body. It is not some simple reorganization. It's not. It is a very radical reorganization. Very radical. You should develop that reorganization, cultivate it towards the body. Body is a machine, assembly. It's an assembly. That's why it is called Panchabhautikam, assembled from 5 things. And it is has all kinds of instruments. They do different jobs. And together with all of them, the body is a city like where I live in it. It is not me, it is not mine. It was born, whereas I am not born. When it was born, I am not born. Ajasya. And then include mind. Mind has some smoke, etc. All that smoke is not mine. I just watch the smoke and then it will go away. And I remain pure-hearted. Avakra chetasaha. We'll see what Bhashyakara says. So firstly, Puram. So tatha idam purasamanyat anekopakarana samhatam shariram. That is the sharira we are talking about. The body. Shariram, shiryate, it is shariram. That which is crumbling even now. It is crumbling. It is disintegrating even now. That's why it is called a shariram. People think that shariram is a very beautiful name. Nothing beautiful about. Suppose you make a room and name crumbling. That is the name of the room. So that is what is this. That is what is this. This blessed thing, it is crumbling. And one fine morning, you have to dispose it off. Somebody has to dispose it off. That is what it is. And Puram. And you call idam shariram, you compare it with a city. Purasamanyat. Because it is compared with a city. And a city must have some many instruments within. Useful functions or instruments. This also it has. Anekopakarana samhatam. It is assembled, this is an assembly associated with, samhata is associated with multiple aneka, upakaranam, faculties, multiple tools. A tool to see forms, another tool to hear sounds, another tool to taste different tastes. Like that many tools are there. Tools to hold, tools to walk around, move around. All these tools are there. Just like a city. This has all these tools and this body. Then what is it? Asamhata Rajasthani Yaswamyartham Bhavitumarhati. So because you give the illustration, the simile of Puram, so there must be a king also. The king, Raja. Raja must be there. And the Raja, is he part and parcel of the Puram? No, he is not part and parcel. Like a wall city, the wall. Is it part of the Puram? Yes. And the gates, part of the Puram? Yes. The roads, part of the Puram? Yes. The buildings, part of the Puram? Yes. The king, part of the Puram? Yes. No, wrong. The king is not part of the Puram. Asamuhata. And just like the king, that is the simile, that is the metaphor. In the metaphor you said king. In the actual description of the body, who occupies the place of the king here? Who corresponds to the king? King in the city. Here who corresponds to the king? The Chetana Purusha. That is who corresponds to the king. Chetana Purusha. The sentient being. And he is the Prabhu, Swami. He is independent. The Chetana Purusha is independent, not dependent upon the body. You should not psychologically depend upon the body. Okay? That's why my body should live another 10 years. That is psychological dependence on a crumbling thing. You should not depend psychologically. If at all any prayer is prayer itself, I wanted to make a few comments, but I was a bit diffident about it. I will speak when the time comes, it will come out. And therefore, you should not look for longer life and all that. It is a crumbling thing. Earlier it is better. Earlier the better. Whole job will be over. So that you need not procure bhiksha day after day, again and again. Whole job is over. So it doesn't need bhiksha, Ammaya. It doesn't need bhiksha anymore. Great. It doesn't need medicine anymore. Great. It can be disposed of. Good. Good riddance. That should be the approach. Anyway, so you are the king. You are the king-like. Not exactly king-like. So, you means if you are Aja and Avakra Chetasa. Otherwise it is Brahma. It is the king is the Brahma here. Tattvamasi, that Brahma is you only. But first we will say it is the Puram of the Brahma. Bhavitum arhati. So, it must be meant for the all-powerful, king-like Prabhu. It must be meant for that. You cannot say it is independent. It is not. You cannot say it is meant for itself. Not. Suppose you put so much emphasis on keeping this body in a particular way. That shows that you have a notion now, the body is meant for its own glory. You should not do that. You see, suppose you take vegetables and put in the sun. What will happen to the vegetables? They crumble and the skin become dry and all that. It will break up. The body is no different. It is like a vegetable that is cooking or that is getting dried up in the sun. And no, it takes some time. How much time? Say like this bottle gourd to become all dried up and splitting. How much time it will take in the sun? You have to put it in the sun. How much time it will take? Maybe 2-3 days, right? 2-3 days you have to put in the sun. This is like a bottle gourd only. Not 2-3 days. Maybe 2-3 years. Only that much? Okay, make it 20-30. Now you are satisfied? No, not yet satisfied. Okay, make it 70-80. Now you must be satisfied. Okay, it's all a matter of time. It is like a bottle gourd put in the sun. Hot sun, Indian sun. It is no more. How can you say? Because the lips will crack like the bottle gourd cracking. The lips will crack. Tooth are gone or going or will go. One of those things. Gone, going and will go. That is. Out of 32, some are gone. Some are going. The rest will go. That is this body. And therefore sight will go. Ears will become deaf. why don't you hold on to something more solid than that? अरे बर्थडे करना ही है तो करो, कुछ मीनिंगफुल थिंग के लिए करो. Why do you do birthday for this crumbling silly thing? What birthday? Huh? Legs are tottering. Hands get curved. Fingers get curved. They won't be like this. They will be curved. So all beauty is lost. That is the city. And that is the Puram. At best, it has one good use. Namely, it belongs to the Prabhu. And Prabhu can put it to good use. Why? Because Sopakaranam. It has quite a few meaningful or useful instruments in it. And it can be put to good use. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. And also this Puram has many leaks. Dwara is a leak. Many leaks. But majestically compared with a Puram, therefore we don't say leak, we say gate. Okay? That's Tachedam Sharirākhyam Puram. Sir, we are talking about that body. Now we have given a name to that body, Sharira, the crumbling thing. So that is the name given to this body. And what is what about it? Ekadashadvaram. So it has 11 gates. Okay? What are those 11 gates? We will continue it in Tuesday's class and finish that bhashya and move forward. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.